Uh, Second time in this video. Um, Evidently, there's been folks that want to watch my ugly mug rant on and mumble on. Not exactly a pretty visage, but they put out some comments. I'd like to take a second and speak to them. Um, I don't think I've ever said that I want millions of white people to die. I want white genocide. That's probably some InfoWars shit that you guys saw. Because, and I spoke about this on another video, that if a bunch of white folks die, that'll cause a panic because they're the majority of the country. I don't want white folks to die. Listen, I told my dad that. That's my dad that puts out these videos talking about, oh, it's only gonna kill white people and stuff, coronavirus. I'm not putting that out there because if 10 million white folks die tomorrow, they could be elderly. That could cause a panic. And then you really get a quarantine. Like, people really will fucking stop working, stop contributing to the economy, stop buying stuff, and have a mess. So I don't want white folks to die. I think that I've just come to the point where I realize there's a large portion of white society that supports Trump and supports his ideology. And I've just come to the realization that those people aren't ever going to come to my side. Like, those people aren't going to ever get it. They don't care. They don't care who gets hurt. They don't care how the system works. They don't care. And I've just come to the realization of that hey, it is what it is. That's reality. Listen, white man, I didn't go out here 100 years ago and tell white people to start having children. I didn't do that. Okay. And I just think Charlottesville, other events have just just really touched me and just made me realize that they're never gonna get it. Their ideology is based upon them not getting it and them not understanding how capitalism affects people. And I've kind of accepted that. I've just accepted that. And so if you and I don't know, some conservatives like to make stuff up because they like to create this idea that everybody's against them and white genocide. I mean, Alex Jones came out and said something like that a while back, that Kaepernick was kneeling for white genocide. I'm not making it up. That's what he said. So I mean, if that's what you're trying to say on my videos, that I'm just some guy that's advocating white people die off, that's crazy. I mean, you've got to be really stupid to believe that, because they're the majority of the country. That would collapse the economy. I'm not a Mugabe dude. That's my dad. I'm not some Robert Mugabe that just wants white people to die. No, that's fucking nuts, man. I work with white people. That's fucking nuts. That's crazy. I don't want that. But like I said, I understand that with white supremacy, a lot of the things those guys believe, is not based upon any kind of real true merit, and doesn't have to be. I've come to that understanding that their ideology doesn't have to make sense, because the ideology is based upon them talking to other white people. I'm talking to whoever watches my videos. I'm not talking to black people, white people, gay people, straight people. So if that's what you're trying to say, that I want white folks to die, you're stupid. Period. I'm gonna be clear. Whoever you are out there, you're stupid. Period. But I was reading an article in the New York Times. I don't watch much Western culture, or read much Western culture, but in the New York Times talking about, this is not the end of the world. You're not a prepper. Prepper vision of the world is bleak and ruthless. Something better is happening now. No, it's not. He talks about how, I guess years ago, he got very deep into consuming prepper stuff. And I'm not gonna read all this, talking about filtering water and stuff like that, and looking on Reddit, talking about civilization collapse, reading about the history of millennial movements, looking at luxury bunkers, super rich. I guess he traveled around these different areas, these bunkers and stuff. He talks about Elon Musk talking about colonizing Mars, some extreme metaphors for deepest fault lines of Western cultures, figurization of the more grotesque excesses of capitalist individualism. Look what's happened. The things have suddenly materialized out of the murky abstraction and into the harsh light of what, for the sake of convenience, we must call reality. He said he bought a book and he just pulled it down recently reading it. He finds these days painful and uncanny, dreaming a weird and sad dream from which he cannot seem to awaken, a dream in which a mysterious force has hollowed out the substance of human life. People must keep distance from each other at all costs. The world seems empty and strange and wrong. Matters about sitting that way at the end of the world. Yada yada. The world being revealed. This is true. The world is being revealed with a startling and surreal clarity. Much of being revealed is ugly, the rot of inequality in the bones of our societies, the lethal inefficiency of free market capitalism, the bewildering cruelty and stupidity of many people in positions of apparent leadership. But there are beautiful things too being revealed with great clarity and force. Of these, the one that gives me most hope in this sad and frightening time is, despite the damage done by the presiding ideology of individualism, there remains a determination to act out of a sense of shared purpose. I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. Where I live, nobody wears masks. I go to the store, nobody practices social distancing. Nobody's taking precautions. Nobody. I have no idea what the hell he's talking about here. Shared purpose. There's people having parties not far from where I live in Charlotte. Everybody knows about the people on the beach in Florida. What the fuck is he talking about? Shared purpose. All I'm watching, you had the St. Patrick's Parade. All I'm watching is a bunch of people that basically telling everybody else, fuck you, I do what I want. And I made a video speaking, hey, it's time to open the FEMA camps. I've told you guys several videos about how when the Wuhan thing happened, you had people who really and honestly were willing to, they didn't care. They ran out before the lockdown happened. And there was a woman, she's in France, it was on social media taking pictures of herself. She openly said that she took antivirals or something to get her temperature down, which is bad for you, taking a lot of them, so she could get around detecting the thermometers. And she took a picture of herself around a bunch of people. She probably got a bunch of people sick, and they came and they picked her up. People like that need to go to prison. Period. And you see that now. Singapore is doing that. If you're out on the rail or whatever, they'll lock you up. I mean, if I said it before, if your intention is to get around a quarantine or get around something like that, and you go out here and there's proof of you doing it, you need to go to jail. I'm serious. You need to go to jail. That's the world. I don't know what world he's living in. That's the world I'm living in. People just saying, fuck it. People making fun of me when I wear my mask. They think it's a big joke. That's the world I'm living in. I'm not living in a world of people using common sense. No, shared purpose. The fuck are you talking about? Doomsday prepper version of the world is unapologetically bleak. Society is a fragile edifice, a thin veneer of behavioral norms over the abyss of greed and violence and human nature. Among preppers, one of the preferred ways to react to a severe crisis is to batten down the hatches and retreat to one's home. That's survivalism. That's survivalists. He's mixing them up. Survivalists feel like that. And also survivalists are the ones that have the $1 million bunkers, $100,000 bunkers. That's those people. He's mixing it up. And I know he's talking to a crowd that doesn't get it. Survivalists are the one that believe that a nuclear war is coming, and they believe that you're going to have a major revolutionary war. That's never been in my book. That's never been on my list. I am a man living in a capitalistic society that is slowly crumbling before my eyes. It's not, it doesn't matter what my vision of the world is. My world is crumbling. Coronavirus simply proves that. Coronavirus just showed that. He's talking about rich white folks and rich people. This is not that. I'm living in a society where the decisions are made to no longer invest in the social safety net. Decisions been made to not invest in social and public infrastructure. That's the world I'm living in. And what that does is that acts as a enhancement. Like, like you commit a crime. If you sell drugs and you got a gun, that's an enhancement. If you commit a crime and some gang stuff, that's an enhancement. You understand? Well, coronavirus isn't that serious. I got my respirator. I wash my hands a lot. I keep social distancing, and all that stuff. And that's smart hygiene and all that. But this is not a doomsday disease. And I think preppers understand society's crumbling and that things are going to get worse. Like, I don't believe preppers are like, we want this to happen. To me, survivalists are like we talking about. They want these things to happen. They feel like that's the way to take over the world or run the world. Because they were the warlords. Survivalists are like warlords. I'm not a warlord. I'm just a dude that realizes that things are already bad. It wouldn't take much for things to get worse. You understand? That's what I'm saying to you. Yeah, he mixes up preppers and he mixes up survivalists. He's mixing them up. It's two different things. Preppers don't have farms. Preppers don't have cabins. Preppers don't have 20-acre lots. That's, what I mean? I'm not bugging out to the woods. That's what my dad said. I'm not doing that. And I don't think that'll happen. It's just the realization society's crumbling before our eyes, man. I don't know what this profound sense of shared, but I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I don't get that. If and though we get through this, it'll be because we came together for the good by staying away from each other. I don't think so. I think that people who get through this are the ones that are smart and act as individuals. I don't see. This is the left here. This is your Democrats here. The idea that we're gonna come together to solve problems. I don't think so. Some yes, not coronavirus. But I know this is something he could say that's gonna stand out and grab people. It grabbed my view, and I don't follow this. I don't follow none of this stuff. So that tells you this might have been just something he, grab your eyes, grab your attention. Like I said, I am simply, to me, preparing is like looking ahead, getting ready. It's never been like political. Preparing has never been like, because I'm a socialist. I was a conservative. I was a libertarian. I'm a socialist. My opinions have not changed. I'm more of a survivalist now than I was when I was a libertarian. That's not political. That's just simply looking outside my window and looking at the world around me, the reality around me. That's all that is. That's not about my opinions or none of that stuff. That's just reality. And I think to myself, this could be propaganda too. It could. Also, what he's missing is this. We're dealing with governments that are not acting legitimately. What does this mean? When you had Republicans come out and tell you, oh, no, it's no big deal, it's no big deal, backing Trump talking about it's all a Democrat hoax, worldwide pandemic on every continent, but Democrat hoax, right? you know, and now, and then it comes out they were using, they did that, they bullshit the people, and then they used that time to move their stocks to protect themselves. So you're not, what I'm saying is, you're not even dealing with a government that is even operating with the goodwill of the people in mind, and everybody can see it. This isn't a conspiracy theory like this, and this is Dianne Feinstein and other conservatives and Democrats. This is not a Republican thing. This is, both sides did this. So if you're dealing with a government that's lying to your face in something this minor, what happens when we have the real doomsday? What happens when the big one hits and it's airborne and 1,000 people die in a day? Do you see where I'm going with this? And you're trying to tell me I'm not a prepper and it's not the end of the world. It may not be, but coronavirus, to me, it shed light on what America really is, how ugly America really is. It shed light for me on how our government operates. The government doesn't operate with the goodwill of the people. I know conservatives feel good saying that we just want big government, we're communists. I know they feel good saying that, but that's not true. That's not true. You know, it's not true that because I am a progressive, I'm a socialist, that means I support any big government. That's not true. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's like saying a nationalist, American nationalist, agrees with all other nationalisms in the world. That's not true. Like but I expect, it's kind of like when they talk about Kaepernick, they call him Kaepernick, making fun of his name. It's their logic is based upon stupidity. And it's based upon trying to dumb down the argument of the left. You know, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. You're below me. You're below me. I'm leaving it at that. Peace.